Time now to put a lid on the 2015 women's swimming season here for the Liberty Flames. And to do that, we catch up now with the head coach of the Lady Flames, Jake Shellenberger. The team coming off of its fourth consecutive top two finish in the CCSA. Successful season for you guys. When you think back to the course of this year, if you could put one or two words to this season, what would it be?
Oh, boy, that's putting me on the spot. I prepared for this interview by going down through a list of all of our accomplishments. I suppose that word might be bittersweet. When you win last year, when you win the conference title last year and then fail to do so again the next year, it leaves that sour taste in your mouth a little bit. But then when you sit down and when you have a chance to really go back and see all the great things you've done, there is that sweet taste as well. So, even though we didn't win this year, we did do a lot. We really had a great year when you look at it as a complete body of work and not just one meet. So bittersweet would be the word, but more sweet than bitter. There's a lot to look forward to with this program, and things are only going to get better from here.
Yeah, 13-4 this season, wins against Oregon State, wins against JMU that wound up being the CAA runner-up. Also, Atlantic 10 champion Richmond, just among the few that your team was able to knock off this season. When you look at that and kind of gauge the success of the program, is it where you want it to be at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've come a long way, in 5 years, and this marks the end of 5 years of program history already. Let me just run down through my sheet here. So this year, as you mentioned, 13-4, 4-1 in our conference, which is always good. Second place at the Coastal Collegiate Swimming Association Championship meet. At that meet, we had 43 best times, 11 top 3 finishes. We had 6 team records, 7 NC2A B cuts. And one thing that we didn't mention before, our 200 free relay, when we had all the conference meets ended and we looked around and see how everybody did, our 200 free relay was the second fastest in the state of Virginia, the 32nd fastest overall in the entire country, and beat 7 Big Ten programs. So our sprinters were rocking and rolling this meet. That was a lot of fun. As you mentioned, the Pac-12 win over Oregon State, and that's always fun to beat an FBS program, big-time, Power 5 conference program. We were ranked as high as 47th in the country in the collegeswimming.com objective rankings that they have. There's roughly 200 Division I women's programs, so not a top 25 program, but you could argue a top 25% program if you're, top 50 out of 200. The meet you mentioned against Richmond was a live TV meet, so thank you to LFSN for going live there. There are not many college swim programs in the country that go live, and we were one of the first to do a TV meet 3 years ago, and coming back now doing a live meet, which is a lot of fun. Let me talk just briefly about our 5 seniors that we graduated. They had 3 runner-up finishes, 1 conference title. They went 48-10 overall in their careers, and 26-3 against in-conference opponents. So quite a lot of fun there for those 5 seniors. Also, let me just mention this, because it's not just about swimming. This past fall of 2014, we had our highest ever semester team GPA. And we had, Kendall Huff, Prudence Rooker, and Megan Babcock were named Conference Swimmers of the Week this year. And also, they're not tallied yet, but we'll have several College Swimming Coaches Association of America academic All-Americans once those come out in June, and I'm sure we'll do another video interview then. What that is, you have to get an NC2A B cut and then have a 3.5 GPA, and they call you an academic All-American. So all in all, even though we didn't win the conference meet, there was a lot to look back on and a great year.
Yeah, lengthy list of accomplishments, no doubt about it. You mentioned the achievements in the classroom, team grade point average of 3.37 back in the fall, so good to see that there's some emphasis being placed there. You mentioned also losing 5 seniors. Looking ahead to next year, what are some of the holes that you're looking to plug?
Oh boy, there's some big holes. First of all, when you lose the 5 seniors that we did, Corey Gary, Chloe Thomas, Megan Babcock, Emily Duff, and Jenny Garzinski, you don't just lose points, and you don't just lose, positive attitudes and work ethic and culture, but you lose, a little bit of your team's identity, and maybe that relates back to culture, but you lose a little something more. It's not just points on the board. So let me give you one example. That class, those 5, not only did they swim all 4 years, obviously, but they also stayed to train all 3 summers that they were eligible to do so, freshman, sophomore, junior summer. And that's rare. I mean, that says a lot about their dedication and commitment to the program. And hopefully it paid off for them. I mean, I would hope that they would look back in 20 years and be proud of that accomplishment. I know we took Megan Babcock and Emily Duff as part of that senior class out to U.S. Nationals this past summer, and they were able to score on a medley relay. I think they placed 13th at U.S. Nationals in the summer. And thankfully Liberty allows us to go to those summer meets, and it's an NC2A rule. We can pay for it, which is nice, and it's almost a separate summer season, if you will. So we're losing a lot with those 5, and they're going to be hard to replace. And you say that seniors are irreplaceable. In many ways they are. You just hope that people will step up below them and fill those shoes. Big shoes to fill. We are bringing in 9 freshmen, and we may add a few more during the spring signing coming up here. But so we are bringing in 9 new freshmen, and hopefully we'll mold them into the type of seniors that we're losing here. So,
well, Coach, very outstanding season. We appreciate your time. Congratulations on another year.
Thank you, Nick.
That's the head coach of the Lady Flames swim program, Jake Shellenberger, with us. My name is Nick Pierce for the Liberty Flames Sports Network.